along for a very, very intense last week of medical school before the Easter holidays, crammed with an awful lot of work, but also still time for friends, gym, and me just having a little bit of an off week and talking all about how I look after my mental health as a medical student. Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. So it is finally the last week of medical school before the Easter holidays. However, we don't have our normal placement over at the hospital. We have this really intense week called Clinical Sciences Week, which is basically where we cram all of our more like preclinical content, so things like hematology, infection, pharmacology, into 1 week of lectures and SGTs, and it's basically all day every day over at the medical school. So it's going to be really fun for us, but I really wanted to bring you all along because of course I can film everything over at the medical school unlike the hospitals, so I thought it'd be a really good one to bring you all along for. So if you do like the sound of today's video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, then what are you doing? Go and click that little button now. Anyway, before we're late, I'm walking with the boys from my house over to the medical school for our 9 AM start. I think it's just an introduction all in the lecture hall, but it's going to be so weird to see our whole year again. I've not seen everyone all together in one place in literally ages. So who's looking forward to med school? No. Joe's made us all late, guys.
No, I delayed you by 2 minutes.
For the record, we were waiting for Joe for at least 5 minutes, but we actually all managed to sprint over and make it to the first lecture on time, which was recapping some key pathology content we need to know. After a morning of lectures, I then headed to the library to do some of my due Anki cards before going to the Med Cafe and having my meal prep lunch, which this week is a lovely sweet potato, lentil and tofu bowl. So yummy with everyone before going to our SGT circuits in the afternoon. It's just gone 5 and I've just got back in from the medical school, and I have to say I am shattered. I haven't done like a proper 9 to 5 of lectures and teaching like that in so long, and my brain is definitely feeling it. But it was a really good afternoon. I hardly recorded anything because we basically did this giant circuit this afternoon with loads of different stations of pathology and different specimens, and you can't record them because they're obviously real people and it's not very respectful. But it was actually really helpful, but it was very quick fire and my brain really needed to work. Anyway, I'm in the biggest rush in the entire world because I've decided that I'm going to squeeze in going to the gym now before my final MedSoc meeting with committee at 6:30, which we're actually doing over at the Goose, which is the pub, to celebrate what a good year it's been all together and our last one. But that means I'm in a huge rush. I'm not quite sure why I'm doing this to myself, but I haven't got any time the next couple of days either, and I always just feel a bit yucky if I don't get myself over to the gym. So that's where we're going now, a quick change and straight back out the door. So by some miracle, despite the fact that I still look a little bit sweaty, I've managed to squeeze in a workout and get changed in time. I actually had such a productive gym session. I always say at the end of the day, if you manage to force yourself through those doors, it is so good to just clear your head and sweat out any stresses from the day. But right now I'm about to head out of the door to go to the last ever MedSoc meeting with this group of committee. We've actually all been voting for the new committee for next year, and I'm running for publicity rep just because I've literally loved it so much this time. So I've got my fingers and toes crossed that this won't be the last committee that I'm on, but we shall see and I'll keep you informed. Anyway, I feel like I'm really just rambling because I'm so flustered, but let's get there before I'm late. It was so nice to see everyone and do something away from our normal MedSoc office. I then headed home for some dinner and a very chilled evening before getting to bed ready for another early start. I don't know how many times I can show you my overnight oats, but if you're not new here, you will be fully aware my morning routine hardly ever changes, and this is my go-to breakfast and routine. I literally love starting the day with some YouTube, checking anything important on my phone, and time blocking hour by hour to set up the day right before starting with some work. Good morning everyone and happy Tuesday. So I've actually had a really good start to the day. I actually found out that our lectures this morning don't start till 10 o'clock, so we've had a real treat and had a bit of a slower start to the day. I've done an hour of my Anki due cards and also had my breakfast, and I'm literally about to get ready to head off to the medical school now. Whilst I was working, I also had the best email come through with the MedSoc committee results, and you are looking at your new publicity rep, and I'm so excited, and thank you so much anyone that did vote for me. It honestly means the absolute world. Right now I'm going to ferry the boys and see whether they're actually ready to head over to the medical school for a morning of lectures, and then again we have the same routine of a little bit of a break and then our small group teaching this afternoon. Day 2 was all about infection, and after our first lecture I actually did go to the library instead to do my own consolidation on osmosis, which I love for anything I'm not understanding. Then it was time for a quick lunch break before, of course, doing all my dual Anki cards, and then another small group teaching circuit in the afternoon of case-based discussions. So it's just gone 6:30 and I've just got back in from the medical school, and once again I'm literally immediately about to head out. I'm actually going for dinner with Lily, Emily and Jess. Emily I lived with last year, and Lily and Jess I know from my placement last term, and I love them all so much. I'm so excited for a proper catch up before the Easter holidays. We're actually going to Damasceno, which if you haven't been and you are in Birmingham, you need to get yourself over there now. It's literally one of my favourite restaurants. They do hummus, and I do have a slight obsession with hummus and could have it every single day of the week if I had a choice. So that is what I will be getting, and I'm just about to head out the door and go and pick them up now.
The next morning.
Good morning everyone. So as you can see from my face, I am literally shattered this morning. I don't know what is going on. I think my body is just very ready for a break. It is currently 9 o'clock and I've got my breakfast got ready, but my lectures start at 9 o'clock, and as you can see I'm not at the medical school. I'm about to head over now, and to be honest I think I'm going to give this morning's lectures a miss. Yes, I am a bad student, but to be honest I'm not finding the lectures overly helpful. They are basically just repeats of the content that we've already been given, and I've watched all those lectures and there's bits that I still don't understand, and I don't feel like doing the same lectures again is a very helpful way for me to learn. So you know me, I'm all about making the most of my time, so I'm actually going to go to the medical school and sit on osmosis and go over some of the topics that I don't understand and just have a bit of a study morning. And then this afternoon we still have the small group teaching, which I find really helpful because again it's a different way of learning rather than just watching the same lecture. Let's go over to the medical school for another full-on day, and hopefully I'll be feeling less tired later. Despite not the best start, I actually managed to have a really productive day, and when I am like this, getting out the house to the library and a change of environment is always so helpful, as well as having little goals on the forest timer and planning a nice relaxing evening to get me through. But after a couple of hours I really started to feel on top of my revision, which I have all planned out, and a whole separate video on how I've done this, which I will link now. It is now significantly later. It's nearly 7 o'clock. I left the medical school at just before 6, got home immediately, got in the shower, washed my hair and got into my comfy pyjamas. Now I have been feeling a little bit funky all day, and I do think I'm coming down with endodermitis, which is something that I always get towards a holiday, and I just feel a little bit run down and I just need a few days off, and my brain is starting to just feel so filled with work. But either way, today was really good. I'm kind of using this clinical sciences week to just really get on top of revision, and also a lot of it is repeating content that we've done, so it's really good to go over it all, and especially the SGTs, I'm finding them really helpful. Tonight we were supposed to go out as a house and go to Nando's before we all go home for Easter. However, no one can be bothered and we're all just feeling a little bit tired and not up to doing it, so I'm going to have dinner with everyone, and then I think me and Daisy are going to take over the TV choice for tonight and watch the new Made in Chelsea, which will be really nice to just sit down with her and properly relax. I literally love a bit of trashy TV. I'm not saying Made in Chelsea is trashy, don't come for me, but I do just really enjoy properly switching off. And yeah, I'm hoping this vlog isn't too boring for you all, because I do just feel like I'm just working basically. That is really all I'm doing, and all my life will be for the next couple of months. But we've just got to get through this exam season, and then we have so many fun things coming up, which I of course can't wait to bring you all along for. But anyway, let's go and get some dinner because I'm starving, and I do think I'm probably gonna get some smiley faces because I have them in the freezer and they're my go-to comfort food. Good morning everyone. So it's now Thursday, and if I'm looking a little bit sweaty it's because I've just got back from the gym. I've actually been working from home this morning, and then it's about 10:45 and I'm going to head over to the medical school, finish off my Yankee cards, have lunch, and then we have a really busy afternoon. We have the small group teachings, but for hematology, which is one of my least favourite topics in the entire world, with the clotting cascade, which if you know, it's horrible. And then we also have a mock exam straight after, which isn't really to do the questions, but more to get used to the platform, because we're still doing them online but closed book in the medical school this year. But they just want to get us used to this new platform, which is what our finals will also be run on as well. I needed to get over to the gym this morning because I've been feeling very funky, and I do get weeks like this sometimes when I'm just in my head a lot, and my best way to get it out is A, journaling, which I did last night, and B, going to the gym. So I am feeling a lot better, although I don't think the weather particularly helps because it is raining. But anyway, let's go over to the medical school, see everyone, because that's another thing. Forcing myself to see people is so good for my mental health, even though it's kind of sometimes the last thing I feel like doing. I like to keep myself very reclused when I'm in one of these kind of moods. However, my friends always get me out of it, so I can't wait to see everyone. And then I'm also getting my lashes done tonight, so that will be a really nice treat. Now, everyone has days or weeks like this, and for me it's really important to check in with myself and how I'm feeling, and then not giving myself a hard time if I'm just not feeling right. It's so important to recognise no one is positive or happy all of the time, and that really is just part of life. Letting myself feel this way, but also doing things I know are going to help, is so important. So for me, that's making sure I exercise, being over at the medical school, seeing my friends, and also still getting on with my work. It meant by the next day I was feeling a lot better. Good morning everyone. So it's now finally Friday, and sorry if this is literally skipped from one bit to the next, but after being at the med school yesterday I went straight over to the salon to get my lashes lifted. However, this eyelash has curled significantly more than this eyelash. I was having a bit of a mare with it, but the people there were so lovely, and they've said for me to come back today at 4, so after all our lectures are finished. However, it is another hour there, but you know, it's my favourite place to go, and I do find it very relaxing, so I thought let's go and get that fixed. But anyway, first of all, we need to get through today, which is all about prescribing, so that will be very interesting. I'm actually off to the lectures this morning because they look really good, and we've got the slides before as well, and I'm determined to stay focused. I was saying this to all my friends yesterday, but I think because I'm not used to sitting in these big lectures with everyone, I'm finding it so hard to actually concentrate and not just talk through everything, which reminds me a little bit of what I used to be like at school. I have the attention span of a goldfish, but having the lecture slides before to have a look through and being able to write notes like that always really helps me. So it's going to be a productive day, last day, and then home tonight, which I'm so excited. Having a plan of how you're going to work in lectures is so important, else it can be very easy to zone out or play games on your phone like Joe. However, what really helps me is to edit and write my Anki flashcards as I go along with the slides. I then of course headed back to the library in my favourite spot to finish my Anki flashcards for the day. It's just gone 5:30 and I just got back from getting my lashes done, which I'm so happy with now. I feel like they're really lifted. But anyway, I've just been packing up my room, ready to go home. I'm honestly so excited to go home this weekend. I feel like it has been the longest week in the entire world, and I'm very happy to be out the other end. We now have 2 weeks off for Easter before we have 2 weeks of placement, 1 week of study leave, and then exams. God, they sound so close when you say it like that. But anyway, I'm going to take this weekend off and do a little bit of work tomorrow, but then have Sunday completely away from doing any revision because my brain, it's just a bit scrambled, and we all need a bit of a break sometimes. But anyway, I want to get on the road now. Hopefully it won't take me too long to get home, but I am just chilling tonight. It's just me and my grandma at home actually. My whole family have gone to Devon, which I'm not going on because I want to use next week to come back here and get some real good revision done. So as you can see, I've safely made it home, and I honestly could not be happier to be back. See the dogs, see my nan. I got straight into my pajamas, and I'm just about to go and have a pizza with her and have a proper catch up and a chilled weekend. So I am going to end the vlog here. I hope this week's video hasn't been too boring, but honestly that's probably going to be my life until the end of May, until exams are over, and we've just got to get through that push, and then we have the summer to look forward to. But I really hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and make sure you are subscribed for more study vlogs and content like this, and have an amazing week, and I'll see you all so soon. Bye.